Hello everyone, good afternoon. I'm Shreya Dhoundial. As always, it is very good to see you. You're watching the Afternoon Dispatch, and our top dispatch, ladies and gentlemen, this afternoon is coming from Mumbai. Incessant torrential monsoon rains have wreaked havoc across Maharashtra, leaving a trail of death, destruction and chaos in their wake. Buildings are collapsing, there are landslides, rail tracks are waterlogged, roads are caving in, there is severe waterlogging, and the deadly threat of electrocution hangs around every street. Maharashtra is not just facing unprecedented rain fury, it is also facing the brunt of its civic infrastructure collapsing. 16 people have lost their lives across the state in various rain-related tragedies over the last 2 weeks. This isn't just a natural disaster. This is a man-made crisis. And who is responsible, ladies and gentlemen, for this yearly horror? Just look at the pictures on your screens right now. Heartbreaking tragedy has struck Mumbai's Mankhurd area. A multi-story chawl in Janta Nagar has literally turned into rubble amidst heavy rains. 6 people, including 5 children, have been killed in this house collapse. Emergency rescue operations are still underway at the site, with teams desperately digging through the debris. Following this tragedy, the Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis has expressed deep grief and paid tribute to the deceased. The Chief Medical Officer has condemned the incident and assured immediate relief, with the Chief Minister announcing an ex gratia of 5 lakh rupees for the kin of the victim. But while all this compensation is being announced, the question remains, why does the system react only once lives are lost? The answer is obvious to all citizens who make Mumbai the richest city in India, paying taxes to the tune of 81,000 crore rupees. Now, one of the people responsible to ensure that Mumbai doesn't collapse under the fury of the monsoon is the woman you see on your screens, Mayor Ritu Tawade. Her job is to oversee the city's civic infrastructure and ensure that Mumbai is prepared for the monsoons. But as the city struggles with waterlogging, flooded roads and disrupted life, this is a video of the mayor that has now gone viral. She's asking people sitting nearby, and she's at a beach, to move away as she walks through the area during an inspection. She says there's a high tide coming and people should move away. Now, the opposition is saying the focus should have been on fixing the city's problems, not managing the camera frames. But just take a look at these pictures. There's a reason why she's getting all this flack. You're seeing a cop holding an umbrella over Mayor Ritu Tawade during her Marine Drive visit. An umbrella for the mayor. But who's watching over Mumbaikars is the question. So Times Now did a reality check and exposed an alarming picture. At another Mumbai beach where Mayor Tawade didn't show up, not a single police personnel, no lifeguard, no barricades. Even as strong winds and rising water levels and high tides continue to put lives at risk. Is the police deployed in the city to hold Madam Mayor's umbrella or to ensure that citizens don't land in any danger? My colleague Arunil getting us this ground report.
It has been continuously raining heavily in the city of Mumbai. Now, Mumbai Mayor Ritu Tawade was at the Marine Drive. She could be seen threatening people to leave from there. It looked like a photo op from the Mumbai Mayor. The reason for that is it was a cop who was handling her umbrella. Now, at present, we want to show her the reality check to the Mumbai Mayor. At present, I'm reporting from the tourist-friendly Warsaw beach. You can see there is not a single police personnel over here. If the Mumbai Mayor or the BMC cares so much, then when the sea levels are rising so much, the entire water that is accumulating in the city is going towards the sea. The water levels are rising. It is high tide. Strong winds are blowing. Not a single lifeguard can be seen at the beach. Not a single police personnel or the entrance to the beach as well. My video journalist is showing you these visuals. The entrance is also not barricaded over here. The Mumbai Mayor went with a cop who was holding her umbrella, who was holding an umbrella for her, and she was scolding people who had gathered at Marine Drive. Then why this ignorance and negligence 2 days after her visit to the Marine Drive? After something will happen, then only the Mumbai Mayor is going to visit over here. Times Now does a reality check, and what we find out is that proper preparedness from the BMC is not happening at all levels during these monsoons. And that is why 16 innocent lives have been lost in the maximum city.
And ladies and gentlemen, Mumbai Mayor Ritu Tawade has actually made it worse for herself. Responding today to questions over the 16 deaths in Mumbai, she appeared to distance the civic body from the tragedy. She said that the Mankhurd house collapse falls under the collector's jurisdiction, not the BMC, essentially saying, don't ask me, I'm not to blame. In fact, the mayor also made it political, targeting the local MLA Abu Azmi, alleging that all these illegal houses come up with his support. While the BMC has accepted responsibility for 10 of the 16 deaths, Tawade is insisting that the remaining 6 were not caused by any civic failure. Listen in to Madam Mayor once again.
मानखुर्द में जो दर्दनाक मौत हुई उसमें से 6 में से 5 छोटे छोटे बच्चे हैं, 2 साल के बच्चे की भी उसमें मौत हुई है। कौन है जिम्मेदार इसके लिए?
मानखुर्द का जो एरिया है वहाँ पे मैं गए 15 साल से काम कर रही हूँ। भारतीय जनता पार्टी की वहाँ पे संगठनात्मक काम करते। मानखुर्द की पूरी परिस्थिति मुझे मालूम है। मानखुर्द में जिस एरिया में ये जो घर गिरा है वहाँ एक तो वो पूरी कलेक्टर लैंड है और वहाँ पे कलेक्टर के माध्यम से ऑलवेज नोटिस दी जाती है, लेकिन वहाँ के लोग जो है एक के ऊपर एक के ऊपर 5-5 माले चढ़ाते हैं। पूरी तरह से वो पूरा इलीगल है। घर को नोटिस दिया, उसके बाद में डेमोलिशन किया, वापस वो 15 दिन के बाद घर बनाते। ये पहली मानखुर्द की परिस्थिति है। और वहाँ पे जो है जो गाला उसमें गिरा, उसमें गोडाउन था। वो जिस घर पे गिरा बहुत ही दुखद घटना घटी है। माँ अपने बच्चों को लेके घर पे थी। कम से कम उनके 3 बच्चे और बाजू के 2, टोटल 7 लोग घर पे थे। और पूरा वो 2 के पूरे 2 माले उसके ऊपर गिरे, 2 घर के माले उसके ऊपर गिरने के बाद ये सिचुएशन आई है। बहुत बुरा लगता है इस चीज का।
रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी किसकी है कि इस तरह के इलीगल स्ट्रक्चर्स ना हो, उनको वहां से अलर्ट करके वहां से स्थलांतरित करने के लिए किसकी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है?
वहाँ के आमदार, उनकी भी तो रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है। आपके क्षेत्र में इस तरह से आप ही के लोग, आप ही के कार्यकर्ता होंगे या कोई भी होगा वहाँ के, तो इस तरह से अगर घर बनते हैं तो ये किसका आशीर्वाद है? हर वक्त वहाँ पे कलेक्टर के माध्यम से उनको नोटिस दी जाती है, वहाँ पे डेमोलिशन होता है।
We'll come to the Mumbai mayor passing the buck in just a bit, but first I want to go to Atul, who is reporting to us from Andheri, where there are some rather dramatic pictures emerging from. Atul, आप हमारे साथ जुड़ रहे हैं अंधेरी से। आपके आसपास काफी ड्रामेटिक पिक्चर्स हैं, दिखाइए जरा हो क्या रहा है इस समय।
बारिश बहुत ज्यादा तेजी से हो रही है। रेड अलर्ट जो मौसम विभाग ने ऑलरेडी जारी किया हुआ है उसका असर अब जमीनों पे भी देखने को मिल रहा है। जगह जगह वाटर लॉगिंग है। तस्वीरें हम आपको अंधेरी सबवे की समय दिखा रहे हैं। जबरदस्त तरीके से एक तरफ हवा चल रही है, दूसरी तरफ पानी का जो बहाव है वो सबवे में किस तरीके से नाला जो यहाँ पर है, बड़ा नाला आप देखिए झरने की तरह ओवरफ्लो होकर इस समय उसका सारा पानी सबवे में जा रहा है। और ये जिस रास्ते पर हम मौजूद हैं, ये सबवे जहाँ पर है, ये चौराहा है। एक तरह से 4 रास्ते इस जगह पर एडजॉइनिंग है और जहाँ कहीं भी आपकी नजर जाएगी हर तरफ से पानी निकलकर नाले से होता हुआ रास्तों के जरिए सबवे में जा रहा है। और चूंकि शाम 4 बजे के करीब हाई टाइड है, 4.08 मीटर का हाई टाइड है, उस दौरान भी अगर बारिश तेज रही तो जो नॉर्मल इलाके हैं उन जगहों पर भी वाटर लॉगिंग देखने को मिलेगी। आप देखिए यहाँ पे जो मैनहोल है, गटर है, वो भी किस तरीके से ओवरफ्लो हो रहे हैं। और ये सब वजह इस वजह से भी है कि जो बीएमसी की तरफ से हर बार ये क्लेम किया जाता है कि उनके नाले सफाई पूरी तरीके से हो चुके हैं, मैनहोल गटर उन्होंने साफ कर दिया है, तो इस बार वो हर तरीके के एडवर्स कंडीशंस के लिए भी प्रिपेयर्ड है। वो फिलहाल जो है होता हुआ नजर नहीं आ रहा। फिलहाल जितने भी आप रास्ते यहाँ पर आने के हैं, देखिए हर तरफ जो है रस्सियां लगा दी गई हैं, पुलिस यहाँ पर मौजूद है। जो बीएमसी के कर्मचारी हैं वो वाटर पंप दूसरी तरफ जो लगाए गए हैं, बड़े वाटर पंप्स, उनको जो है चलाकर जो पानी अंदर की तरफ जमा है सबवे के अंदर उसको निकालने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं। सबसे ज्यादा दिक्कत ये जो पास के आप देख रहे हैं होटल्स हैं, छोटी छोटी जो दुकानें हैं, डॉर्मेट्री है, यहाँ पर सबसे ज्यादा लोगों को दिक्कत होती है क्योंकि पानी जो इस पर सबवे में आता है वो सीधे उनके जो है दुकानों में या उनके जो आवास है उसके अंदर चला जाता है। और इसी वजह से इस तरीके के हालात को देखते हुए बीएमसी लगातार जो अपील है वो लोगों से कर रही है कि आप लोग घरों से बाहर न निकले। स्टेट डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट की तरफ से अब अपील की जा रही है कि जो लोग ऑफिस जा रहे हैं उनको ऑफिस न जाकर जो घर है वर्क फ्रॉम होम वो उसको प्रायोरिटी देनी चाहिए, क्योंकि सेफ्टी सबसे ज्यादा जरूरी है। क्योंकि बारिश ही बारिश नहीं बल्कि तेज हवाएं भी चल रही हैं इस समय। अराउंड 80 to 90 किलोमीटर प्रति घंटे की रफ्तार से तेज हवाएं तूफान चल रही हैं। उसकी वजह से जगह जगह पे पेड़ गिर रहे हैं, जगह जगह पर जो बड़ी होर्डिंग्स है वो गिर रही हैं। एंगल्स के जो लोहे के होर्डिंग्स है वो गिरते हुए नजर आ रहे हैं। तो हर तरफ से आफत इस समय मुंबई में और जो आसपास के इलाके हैं वहां पर भी देखने को मिले। फ्लाइट्स कैंसल्ड और डिले हो रही है या उन्हें डाइवर्ट किया जा रहा है, क्योंकि आसमान में विजिबिलिटी कम है बारिश ज्यादा होने की वजह से। रेलवे ट्रैक पर पानी ज्यादा भर गया है। वसई विरार जो वेस्टर्न जो है लाइन का है, मुंबई से सटे पालघर जिले में आता है, वहां पर ट्रैक पर पानी भर जाने की वजह से जो रेलवे सेवा है, ट्रेन सेवा है वो बाधित हो गई है। पुणे में जरूरत से ज्यादा बारिश होने की वजह से मावल में लैंडस्लाइड की वजह से ट्रैक पर जो मलबा है वो आ जाने की वजह से वहां से जो कनेक्शन ट्रेन के जरिए होती थी वो बंद कर दी गई है। जो मिसिंग लिंक था मुंबई पुणे हाईवे जो नया अभी बना था एक्सप्रेसवे का, वहां पर भी लैंडस्लाइड हुई है, उसको भी रिस्टोर करने की कोशिश की जा रही है। मुंबई गोवा हाईवे पर भी लैंडस्लाइड हुआ है। तो हर तरफ से आफत इस समय मुंबई पुणे पालघर रायगढ़ डिस्ट्रिक्ट हर तरफ जो है इस समय आसमान से आफत बरस रहा है और उसका असर आम लोगों के जनजीवन पर पड़ता हुआ नजर आ रहा है।
चलिए, आम लोगों के जीवन पे तो पड़ रहा है, लेकिन जिसकी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है क्या वो लोग काम कर रहे हैं? अरुणील, we saw that spot report you did from a beach in Mumbai a day after Mumbai's mayor, accompanied by 2 police walas holding her chhata, were trying to shoo off people from the beach. There you can say she was, she was probably maybe doing her job, maybe not doing her job, but at least she was trying to ensure some safety for citizens. Why is this then video coming under such a lot of flack?
Well, Shreya, since 20 years now, Times Now has been relentlessly asking those questions to the Mumbai mayor as well as the BMC top officials who have been in power, that why innocent lives have been lost. And every time those silly answers that we get from them, those insensitive answers that we get from them, particularly the Mumbai mayor again passing the buck and blaming it on the collector, also blaming it on the local MLA. We would like to remind the Mumbai mayor as well that in the state government as well, it is the BJP government which is in power. The BJP had promised a triple engine sarkar during the BMC elections. Earlier when Uddhav Thackeray used to control the BMC, that time as well, insensitively his mayors used to pass the buck on the state government. At least there the parties used to be different, but here the party is very much the same. It is the BJP that is there. And amidst this political blame game, it is the Aam Aadmi in Mumbai, the common Mumbaikar, who has been bearing the brunt. 16 innocent lives being lost to the very same reasons that we have been covering in the last 20 years relentlessly. Tree falling incidents, people falling into manhole, houses being collapsed. And here as well, we have been doing reality checks for the Mumbai mayor, because whenever an incident takes place, the Mumbai mayor Ritu Tawade rushes to the spot with cameras. In fact, she was embarrassed in one of the incidents as well, when she had gone to a flooded area and a BMC employee fell in front of her only. And that time she said that this may be a conspiracy from the opposition. Such has been the mindset, ill mindset from the people who are handling Asia's richest civic body with a budget of more than rupees 80,000 crore, that the plight of common Mumbaikars, how they have to brace through more than knee-deep water.
A quick question.
Bike riders as well.
Arunil, a quick question, a quick factual question here. Mumbai's mayor has said that in Mankhurd, the tragedy that happened, the house that collapsed, 6 people are dead. She's saying this has nothing to do with me. This doesn't come under the BMC jurisdiction. Does it come under the BMC jurisdiction or does it not?
Well, it comes under the collector, but the collector as well as the BMC should unitedly work in tandem for the betterment of the people. Why she is selectively blaming the collector? Because she wants to pass the buck on Abu Azmi, who's not from the BJP, who's from the Samajwadi Party, a very prominent face from the opposition. But does the Janta on the ground really care about all this.
Correct.
Isn't it the BMC's duty to check for kacha houses? Isn't it their duty to find out that if at all any houses or buildings are about to collapse, then they should not it should not happen. A budget of more than rupees 200 crore being given for trees. But yet trees are falling every day. Here as well, you can see, my video journalist will show you that trees, you can see branches of trees are falling here as well. On every road that we go to, trees fall. Sometimes those trees unfortunately fall on people. And that is when people are hurt, people lose their life as well. Manhole related incidents also happening daily in the city of Mumbai. This passing the buck, political blame game should stop, and the interest of Aam Aadmi should be kept paramount by this Asia's richest civic body.
You know, the fact is that the Mumbai mayor is called the real mayor because she goes around everywhere with cameras in tow, right, and puts that out on her social media. You know, if this is a PR effort, it's a PR disaster actually. She should recognize that. We leave it there for the moment. Arunil, thank you very much. Atul, thank you very much for joining us from Andheri, where you're showing us exactly how bad the situation is in Mumbai. Thank you very much. It's a story we continue to keep a track of here on Times Now. Dispatch 2 this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, coming from Ayodhya, where the Ram Mandir Trust is on test today. A month after the Chanda Chori scandal shook the country, the spotlight continues to be on Champat Rai, the powerful General Secretary of the Trust. All eyes today on a crucial trust meeting, which will be taking place at 3 o'clock inside the Ram Temple premises. Now, the 14-member trust will be deliberating on the resignation of the General Secretary and the trustee, Anil Mishra. The agenda also includes the future management framework, the administrative reforms, and the appointment of a CEO. Today's meeting could define the next chapter for the Ram Mandir Trust. Meanwhile, there is breaking news coming in. According to sources, the Ram Mandir Trust meeting in Ayodhya is expected to begin with Mahant Nritya Gopal Das, or an associate, speaking on his behalf due to his ill health. Outlining the purpose of the meeting, he is the president of the trust. Champat Rai and Anil Mishra are then expected to present their accounts of the alleged donation-related controversy, followed by Treasurer Govind Giri, who will explain the trust's financial procedures and the alleged lapses. Other trustees are also expected to share their views, while Krishna Mohan will be presenting the facts that led to the FIR. Sources say that Govind Giri will subsequently move a proposal for voting, during which the resignations of the two concerned individuals are likely to be accepted. Let me go straight across to Pratibha and Mohit Bhatt, who are joining us on the broadcast. But before I get to you, ahead of the key meeting signaling deep discontent within the trust, its treasurer, Swami Govind Dev Giri, has sought to distance himself from the controversy and called for strict action against those responsible, irrespective of their position. In a two-page statement, he asserted that his responsibility was limited to maintaining audit accounts and records. Listen in to what another trust member, Gopal Rao, is saying. All right, we'll go across to Gopal Rao in just a bit, but Pratibha is joining us on the broadcast. Mohit is joining us on the broadcast. Pratibha, to you first. Honestly, does the trust even have an option?
Well, Shreya, that's the question. But Champat Rai himself, despite being in the eye of the storm, is going to be present in the meeting physically. So a lot of questions are going to emerge on how the trust is even going to take that decision. We're right outside the Shankaracharya Dwar. This is where the meeting is going to take place, and less than 2 hours to go for the meeting. Big decisions are to be taken, because it's not just about the Mandir, it is about the Astha of the devotees. It is about the entire temple ecosystem in the town of Ayodhya. Multiple decisions to be taken. The biggest one, of course, is going to be on the resignation of Champat Rai as well as Anil Mishra. All eyes are going to be on what the trust actually decides. Is there going to be a CEO or not? How is the day-to-day mechanism in the temple going to be? This is perhaps for the very first time after the consecration of the temple that there is so much public attention on this Ram Mandir Trust meeting, because any decision that is taken today is going to have long-term implications on what it means. Does the trust put itself in a place where it is seen as a center of transparency as well as accountability? We've been speaking to a lot of devotees, a lot of people here who are in this tourism ecosystem, who went on to say that people continue to have their asa in the mandir. That has not been affected. It is the trust on the Ram Mandir Trust that has been affected. So can they redeem themselves? That's going to be the biggest question. Any decision that is taken in the trust today will be of paramount importance for the devotees, for the people of Ayodhya to see where it goes forward from here. Champat Rai is going to be a part of this meeting, which raises some questions. Can open discussions take place in his presence? That's the question, Shreya.
In fact, we were speaking about another trust member, Gopal Rao. We are hearing from him now as well. Let's quickly listen in.
3 बजे आज मंदिर परिसर में ट्रस्ट की बैठक होगी। सभी 14 ट्रस्टियों को निमंत्रण गया है। मैं उम्मीद है सभी लोग भाग लेंगे।
Okay, so this is what is going to be on the agenda of today's meeting. Agenda 1, of course, is Champat Rai's resignation. Will it be accepted? Will it not be accepted? Then there is Anil Mishra's resignation again. Will it be accepted? Will it not be accepted? But I don't really think the trust has a choice here today. There's also a discussion that is going to take place on the SIT probe findings. Now, what are those findings? The SIT report has not been made public, ladies and gentlemen. So what exactly is the trust going to discuss? Do they have access to what the SIT has found? Possibly, yes. Of course, there will be a deliberation on how this Chanda Chori happened right under the trust nose. What is the future roadmap of the trust? That is something that needs to be examined as well, because the trust is going through a credibility crisis, and a major one at that. Will there be management reforms at the Mandir? That is something on the agenda as well. And will the trust itself be rejigged? Possibly. That is a suggestion that that supposedly and reportedly the SIT has made in its preliminary report. So let's see if that happens. Let me go straight across to Mohit, who is joining us on the broadcast. Mohit, सवाल बड़ा simple है. अभी तो सब अपने आप को, everyone is distancing themselves from this Chanda Chori. But by the end of the day today, the trust may not have a choice but to accept the resignation of Champat Rai and Anil Mishra. But what happens after that, Mohit? Is the SIT team likely to move against Champat Rai once the resignation is accepted? Is an FIR likely? What do we know so far?
Well, as of now, today's meeting would be very important, and the main focus would be on that whether the resignation of Champat Rai and Anil Mishra would be accepted or not. In all likelihood, Amita, what we know from our sources is that the resignation would be accepted. Now, what happens after that? There will be reconstitution of the trust. Saints and seers will get more representation in the trust, and also who exactly takes the place of Champat Rai as the General Secretary in the trust. Now, we know for a fact that how Bajrang Lal Bhangra, who is the General Secretary of the VHP, very senior leader from the VHP, associated with the VHP for a long time, is the front runner. Secondly, Krishna Mohan, who is also a trust member who was inducted into trust after death of Kamleshwar Chopal. He is also in the race. And these both leaders met Govind Giri few hours ago. We were there on the ground. The meeting lasted for around 90 minutes. There were discussion with the treasurer on what exactly will happen in the meeting. So that meeting was very important. Also, then there would be the SIT investigations preliminary report would be discussed in the meeting. And we know for a fact that how the ambit of investigation is widening. To your question that whether an action would be taken against Champat Rai or not, that remains to be seen, because the police officials have clearly stated they have not given any clean chit to anyone in this particular matter.
Correct.
And in the 3rd week of July, Ayodhya police might summon the top officials from the trust. Till then, the 8 accused are in the custody and the Ayodhya police is investigating them. Okay. We saw that how 5 accused were interrogated by the police yesterday. So all those statements would be corroborated, and then the investigation will reach to the top. As of now, the SIT and Ayodhya police has not given anybody a clean chit. But
the
right now, we are
chronology of how the Chanda Chori took place is clearly establishing the fact that Mr. Champat Rai was aware of what was going on and he tried to brush things under the carpet. So will his resignation be accepted today? Possibly, yes. But what happens after that resignation is accepted? Is the SIT likely to move against him? As Mohit is saying, the SIT is clearly saying we have given no one a clean chit. So we'll wait and see how that story unfolds. That meeting of the trust happening at 3 o'clock. The trust has lost its credibility. Can they somehow win it back? We'll wait and watch. For the moment, it's a break from me. Thank you very much for watching. Amita is joining you at the top of 1:30. Do stay with us. Thanks for watching.